This was a really fun invitation because I get to talk about what inspires me. And that word inspire is like the word for spirit, which means breath. So it's like, what is it that fills you up like breath? What blows you away? And it's your question too. So I'm going to tell you, first of all, 83% of the population of the world lives in the global south, what we used to call developing countries, and women there are on fire. Yes, they have hardships, and yet they are taking the gifts of their mothers and their mothers' mothers and everything that's been passed down to them, and they are lifting themselves out of poverty and repression. I find that very inspiring. They are not in corridors of power yet. They have been silenced, they have been dismissed, they have been neglected. They are on the fringes of society, and that is where we are creating the fringe revolution. They are creating it, yeah. So artisanship moves me entirely. There are something like 300 million people in this world who work and earn a living through the art of their hands. And most of those are women, 76%. And so to be able to take that matrilineal heritage, which they have received, and then to turn it into income and into a future for not only themselves, but for their children, is something that blows me away. So these are some of the artisans, and much of what they make is textiles. So I love textiles because if you think about it, most of human history, women have not been able to read and write, right? But they have been able to spin, weave, dye, stitch, and women have put their stories, their meaning into their textiles. So I call women's stories, women's textiles are their text. It's where their stories live. And then they put them into their clothes, right? So in every part of the world, what one person wears is a part of their identity. It's where they're from. It's who they are. That's pretty great. I think that inspires me. And so we took some of those beautiful traditions, not to appropriate them, but to appreciate them, to bring them into a design for this market. And these are some of the things that we have made at EBU with a team, a small team. Come on, raise your hands that are here. Yes, right there. Woo! Wonderful team right here in Charleston on King Street. We did this fashion show. Was anybody there? It was years ago. And now we are about to do the same thing again, March 8th, International Women's Day at the Festival Hall. And it's a way of really celebrating what we call the fringe revolution, women on the edge of change. This inspires me, women receiving money for the work that they know how to do, that they have carried throughout generations, these beautiful techniques. And not only money do these women receive, but respect. Ibu is a word in the Malay language which means a woman of respect. It's like saying ma'am, it's an honorific. And so I want women artisans, I want women everywhere, whether they're making or wearing these clothes, to feel I am a woman of respect. It's important that not only they are paid, but they are seen. Women need to be seen for who they are, and as a result of that, they can grow into their fullness. Color motivates me. Color inspires me, right? How about this volatility, the anger, the passion of red, or just the absolute indigo sea that is considered so powerful in some islands of Indonesia that women of childbearing years are not allowed to touch it. It is that potent. So, and if you're going to do color, I say, go bold or go home. I mean, you know, I know, pale is in right now, millennial pink, all of that, I know, but most colors, most cultures really need a sort of a fierce palette in order to define who they are. That inspires me. And headgear. Okay, I spent the afternoon with my team working on styling for this next fashion show, and the first thing we start with is what's going on the head. I mean, where did we lose all of that fun? Don't you want to bring it back, like turbans and tassels and pom-poms and flowers, everything? Headgear kind of blows me away. And then there is style. Now, fashion is something that fashion happens in Milan and Paris and New York. But style is what happens when a woman who knows who she is wears that out loud. These are two of our ambassadors, Iris Apfel and Ali McGraw, who know who they are and know how to wear that. That inspires me. You think some of this is just talking about fashion and maybe needlework and it's a little light? No. No, this is a woman we work with, Rangina Hamidi from Afghanistan, who started a cooperative there. Because why? Because 13% literacy rate for the women in Afghanistan. They still don't know how to read and write, but they know how to do some of the most beautiful embroidery in the world. And she has just gone back there. Why? Because when the Taliban came, they froze their bank accounts. She went back to open the bank accounts so she could pay the women with whom we work. That is fearlessness, and that inspires me. How about this woman? This woman is Moroni. Moroni said in front of a group here, as we took a group to Kenya to hear her speak, a Samburu woman, and she said, I could not even stand in front of you 2 years ago, but I have gone to this beading cooperative that we work with. I have learned how to hone my skills. I have fed my children. I have sent my daughter and son to school. I have divorced my husband, and I am running for national public office. That is power. And finally, beauty. Beauty is my aim, said Mahatma Gandhi. Beauty is my aim, and it is my meaning, and it is my muse. Thank you.